What's the crack? You're watching Labtv. I am Bubba Shakespeare, and we are here with...
A man with no name.
And he has a beautiful tent, and a beautiful feeling, and a beautiful energy of him. I would recommend anyone to just sit and talk to this man. I've been here for a few minutes now, and the feeling is immense. So...
Absolutely. Yeah, I can feel it.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Imagine being able to feel yourself.
So the first question I want to ask is, when did you decide to abandon the name and live in a tent and abandon all sort of rule?
I was led by a set of circumstances in a way. I played with the idea, and then I was left where I had an opportunity to go for it. It was it's a short story, but it's an important one for how I became, because it was an accident in some sense. I had a buddy who was dying of cancer, McWesty, down in Bantry. I was living in Cork at the time, and I moved down to just care for him for the last 6 months of his life. And what we went on was a spiritual journey, uninhibited. We didn't block each other, we encouraged each other, there was no judgment, and we found out about the legal name. We had an inkling about it. There was an idea that somehow the name contained you, limited you. And he died in June, I think it was. And I was living with him. He had a council-owned property. So I had no agreement with the council. I told the social welfare that I was there. And of course all the bills that came in were in his name. I just marked them deceased and sent them back. And I was sort of prepared. I put some notices up in the window. It was all a bit radical. And then the police came in one morning and give me a good idea. And they pepper sprayed me, which was unusual at 11 o'clock, because you don't expect that, and took me down to the cells. But anyway, so hello Noel, how are you?
How are you, brother?
Good to see you. And so there I was in court, and I'd been losing all the bits, the passport, the driving licence, anything with my name on it. The only thing I had was a social welfare card. And I used to sign on the social welfare as sort of under duress, or there's loads of techniques you can use to block out your signature. And that's when it got real. That's when it got fucking real, because I had nothing. Although I walked away from court that day, because I had no name, there was nothing to connect me with anything. There was no... But so it wasn't really a conscious decision.
It was just the way it felt.
It was what it was. It was an act of courage. It was sort of... There's part of you that doesn't really want to do it. You don't want to be letting go of your name. That's what your mum and dad gave you.
It's a big ask of the ego, isn't it?
Absolutely. But then I just watched my buddy, who was given 8-9 years. He had environmental leukemia previous to that, 9 years previously. And he had such dignity and grace, and we knew that there was something in it. And I was the big, bold fella that went off and gave it a whirl. And shit, did it change my life.
So how has it changed your life since?
Well, first of all, I lost everything. I had a relationship, I got a son and family, and I was mad, to undertake it and to also continually see it through, because it's an ongoing process. There seems to be a network of people that want to get you back into that fold, the name or containment you want there. But no, it's fine. No name. There we are. One of the local farmers, he said, because I had a nickname when I lived down in the Melock Valley, and he said, what do you mean you got no name? I said, no, giving it all up. He said, well, we'll have to think of a new nickname. And he was quiet for a little bit, and then he turned around and he said, I got it. Well, go on then, what is it? He said, Timmy No Name. Which is great, isn't it? That's so Irish. Yeah. You've got no name, but we'll give you a name.
Yeah.
And then we'll tell you that you haven't got one as well.
And
but that works.
But you still have a name. What?
Yeah.
That's a matrix on a matrix.
Lovely people, yeah. So, yeah, there was a real dance went on then at that time, but that was 2 years ago.
And now you were saying, well, you were saying earlier on that when you detach yourself from your name, then that means that you can't sign for things. So obviously you can't own the thing through the legal system. I mean, we don't own anything anyway. Everything is borrowed. We know that.
Oh, it's an illusion. You know, what becomes clear are all the illusions, all the traps, all the methods of control and suppression and containment. You know, it becomes, just give it a go. Like, give up your name for a little bit. You know, however long you want, or give up your library card. Or, I mean, there is a site, legal name fraud, I think. So people, you know, if they want it, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No way. It's too much. There's too much pain. Too much. So no.
That's why it's hard for people would be hard for people to give up their name.
I certainly wouldn't recommend it.
I think,
Unless you call suffering something else. Part of the journey, maybe.
well, in your instance, it seems like it was part of the journey, a necessary part.
Yeah, because the name, it isn't suffering, it isn't pain. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I mean, so what?
Well, we were saying earlier that like, now you live on the vibration of kindness.
Oh, absolutely. And everything echoes. Once you know where you are, like, and other people know where you are, you know, people look at you with such compassion and sadness, and then you say, well, yeah, but hold on, you know, I'm not here because I'm a victim. You know, I'm here because this is an indirect or a direct result of my choice, which was giving up my name. You see, you can't. Yeah, I've been to the homeless unit, you know, and they just, when you say, I haven't got a name, I haven't got a PPS number, I haven't got a, you know, they go, well, sorry.
You can't do anything.
No, you don't exist.
Yeah.
You do not exist. You know, you become invisible, which is all right if you can cope with it.
Seems like a coping well.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so attention seeking. I mean,
I have that aspect of me as well.
There's times when I think, my God, Tim, it's one of the best publicity stunts I've ever pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I did was I managed to get crucified. They're all just publicity stunts, really.
Tell us about the show you've been working on.
Yeah, the greatest story ever told, Man with No Name. It's the greatest story, of course, is us.
And how is it that we are the greatest story?
Because we're on a journey, and because that journey is, for some, is coming towards its natural conclusion, but there is no beginning and no end. You know that as well. But if we to journey on to the next stage, then that shift of consciousness or the mass awakening. By the way, a mass awakening will only happen one person at a time.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah. No, I think there is a shift, a change occurring, and it's nice to be at the front of it.
I was only talking to
Riding
somebody.
the wave.
Well, I was talking to someone earlier on who was saying the same thing, that there's a shift and a change, and she could see it and feel it as well.
Yeah.
And I'd be of the same nature. I can see it and feel it, and even in the different things that are popping up over in the city, there's a different feel.
The way that people have treated me, responded to me, or reacted to me has been quite profound, because you can sense that there's just a lot of love. You know, and that's that's cool.
That's what inspired me to come over here today.
To come and feel the love, exactly. Yeah. It's a love thing, man.
I heard about the kind gestures and the kind messages you're handing out to people, and
oh yeah, I do my bit, but I think you see, when you say you're suffering, there are causes to suffering, and then there's the release of suffering, which could be alcohol, booze, partying, going out for a meal or whatever. But say you don't suffer, so you don't need the space to suffer or to find the cure for suffering, and say that you were filled with joy as well, and then you didn't have the containment about the physical aspect or the so all of a sudden you get very big and very full of joy, and all you can do is pass it on. Because you can't even contain it. You know, it's like not. I have to walk around the streets with the red nose on and a hat, throwing fucking apples and oranges at people just to get rid of it. Like, whoa, yeah, I don't want it.
Take it.
Yeah, I like being miserable. That can happen as well, I think. No, it's fine. People have been exceptional.
That's brilliant, man. That's because sometimes with the natures of the interviews and the questions that we ask people, you ask them the question and there's a little bit of fear.
Fearlessness is what it's all about. So there's bound to be fear until you go beyond it.
That's the idea of what we're trying to promote with this is
fearlessness. That's where it's at.
We should be waking up, pondering the beauty, instead of waking up regretting the fact that we have to go to a job that we don't fancy.
You got to be crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy to do anything that is not love.
I'll tell you
not born out of love.
There's a great story. So one of my buddies, he was working a job. He didn't fancy it, but for him to give up his job would have meant he would have had to give up his house.
Wow.
And his ability to stay in the country.
Right.
And all he wanted to do was play music, but the job was taken away from his love. What did he do? Quit his job.
Yeah.
4 months later, he lands a world tour.
Sounds like someone was whispering in his ear, wouldn't it?
And honestly, he made that choice out of pure, I'm following the love.
Yeah.
And his drive.
It's all about your courage, really, you know. And again, there's no judgment, there's no deal. You know, if you want to go and work in an office, if that's where you're at.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it.
Yeah. That's not. We're not telling people don't do that. If you want it, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're just talking of.
But Khalil Gibran, I think, says your love is your work, or your work is your love made visible. You know, and if you cannot work with joy, it's better to sit outside the gates of the temple or something and take alms from the poor. You know, it's like if you're not filled with joy, it's absolutely insane. Because it's your choice.
You're dead right, because that's the journey I've been on for the last year or so, is to follow joy and just do the things that I love.
It's your only role.
You know, exactly, and that's what I'm slowly but surely discovering.
It's to breathe joy, to rise up to meet joy, to inhabit joy, to become joy, and then do only those things that bring you joy.
Because what's the point in the other stuff?
But yeah, or you inhabit joy, you become joy itself, and then everything you do is joyful.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because you're bound to come across stuff that your mind at this stage would call difficult or negative or something. But as long as you're dealing with mind, it's
always going to be
wrestling with something that.
Always, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Get rid of the mind.
It's like you were saying earlier, the two
That's what we should have. What we could do is invent.
We won't say mind yourself anymore.
We could still say it.
We'll say heart yourself.
Have special bins made up where people could throw their minds away. And they'd be like imaginary, but people would know whether they would just, what are you doing? Just drop me mind off.
Yeah, just leave me mind there.
Yeah, go beyond it.
I'm going to follow feeling instead.
Love.
Yeah.
Unconditional love. You know, they say that we're here to learn to love ourselves and others unconditionally. Bang.
And that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be a good starting point, wouldn't it?
It would be a brilliant starting point. I feel really attracted to that idea. Like,
of course, everyone does.
Yeah.
It's our natural. I mean, there's a sense of in something like predeterminedness, if you like, about every because we're on that journey. But don't forget, this is extraordinarily entertaining. This world.
Oh yeah.
The drama, the nonsense, the insanity of it. So, and you get used to it. Why do you want to? You know, everyone wants a girlfriend and a house and a hobby and a job and
all that kind of Distraction, I call it.
Distraction or obstacle. It's like a
But-
beautiful woman, isn't it?
It's the great illusion.
Yeah.
The great illusion.
They say that a beautiful woman, to an artist, you know, is a muse. You know, to a Lothario, a lover, you know, a beautiful woman is a conquest. And they say to a monk, a beautiful woman is a distraction. And of course, to a wolf, a beautiful woman is just another meal. So it's swings and roundabouts. They
That's
used
it,
to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now.
I had a painting on my wall of a beautiful looking woman to represent the great illusion.
What a beautiful illusion, though, isn't it? You can dive into it. You can taste the illusion.
I mean, you
That's
can.
just
I mean, it's enjoyable illusion, like. But in my own personal journey, what I've been really working on is letting go of that great illusion. I've been attracted to just beautiful women, giving them the most attention.
I bet you have. But no, and it works, though, doesn't it?
Well, I've been working on letting go of it to move past it.
Oh. Well, why don't you give them my phone number?
I will.
Oh, no, I haven't got a phone number. I haven't got
Sure.
a name.
Who would I
Shit.
tell them to call?
Yeah.
Your
No
man.
name. No, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, fucking enjoy yourself. You got 5 senses. Get out there.
Well,
Indulge.
no, that's true. That's true. But I think for my spiritual evolving, it's something that is in my life for me to learn from.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that there's a few traps. You know, the whole idea. First of all, it's about your truth. Okay, it's the realization of self. You know, you could realize self through sex.
Well, yeah, I know.
Through bonking.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I get you.
I mean, there's a lovely story of what was his name, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, who lived out in North America, and they were living in this hunting lodge, and he was realised, he was a Rinpoche, and they'd been out for a walk or something, and he had a servant. You know, they were all into that hierarchy, and
Can you explain to people who wouldn't know what that is, what he is? I realised
he was a Tibetan Buddhist master, a Rinpoche,
spiritual teacher.
oh yes, yeah, a master.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in layman's terms, because you know the Western reaction to those kind of words.
Yeah, that's right. I forget. He was a guru. Yeah.
And don't be afraid of the word guru, lads. It's all it means is teacher.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be your own guru, anyway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Be your
If
own.
we were saying earlier on, if everything is the universe, then a guru is just the universe teaching you too.
Of course. Well, don't forget, you're the only point of consciousness you can prove.
What? True. Yeah.
This whole thing could be a dream, a mind-made dream where your brain or your mind is picking over itself.
Oh, that'd be
you
nuts.
know, of course it is.
Uh,
You've invented the whole thing. That's how extraordinary.
why wasn't I muscular,
Oh.
so if I invented this?
But anyway, so Chogyam Trungpa's in this hunting lodge, and he's got a servant, and they're having, it's like the big wigs and this servant, and the servant takes all the clothes. They give him to him, he's got to go and put them in the cloakroom. And what they've got is the door to the basement is right next to the cloakroom door, and it goes straight down the stairs, doesn't it? So sure enough, he went to the wrong room, opened the door, fell down the stairs with all the coats. Luckily, he wasn't sort of injured or anything, but he came back up, and he said, Chogyam Trungpa, he said, why didn't you tell me that I, walked into the basement? And Trungpa said, that might have been the moment of your awakening.
Ah, yes.
What a bastard! That's what a guru, cheeky, very
Yeah,
cheeky. Yeah, like, of course you're on your own journey. I think that might be him calling.
Oh, we've 10 seconds left. Quick, what is your message? We've 10 seconds left.
Love, peace and joy.
Love, peace, and joy.
Not necessarily in that order.
Oh, yeah?
Great fun. You're really good.
Thanks, man. So
I
are
like
you,
the
man.
style. Yeah. There was a lot of love there.
It's class.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this.
Well, it's just exciting for me because, I've hidden myself away for 2 years. Doing bit, and this has been a spiritual journey.
I'd say a great one
and
too.
it started in Ireland 20 years ago when I was here. It was the first time I really got into Tibetan Buddhism, and you got Dzogchen Bearer, and I was used to go up to Dublin to do the Shambhala warriorship, which is meditation, and then you come all the way through that, and it's self-realization. It's your truth. You're not looking for anyone else's approval.
Yeah.
And they know this. That's why they want you in groups. That hive mind mentality. And it's nothing to do with anyone else. It's only about you. Sounds crazy.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've reached a stage in my life where validation is a thing I'm not really interested in anymore.
Yeah, but we live in a realm that requires, validation. It requires other people's approval. It's like once you get 2 or 3 people on your side, everything becomes easier. Even in terms of this, we're conditioned to believe that 2 views is better than no views.
True. Yeah.
Doesn't mean a thing.
No, it's still
you're
on
your own audience.
Exactly.
Fuck off. No one else exists.
I don't care. I'm watching it.
Yeah, in a nice way.
No, that's true. I think as well in this realm, you need to have you need to turn your ego on or be aware of it. Otherwise, it's.
I think you hit it on the head there. I think it's self-awareness, though. It's that you're aware of yourself being yourself.
Yeah.
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
Because you can get lost in
Feeling bad
crazy
about
world.
it, like, yeah.
All the rules that have been made up. But Buddha wasn't a Buddhist. Jesus wasn't a Christian. These are all manufactured
Ideas.
Yeah, which is fine if you want to follow,
If you want to follow that is the finest, but it's lacking in the whole truth.
It's lacking your truth. Because,
see.
Jesus was Jesus, Buddha was Buddha, and they found their route,
Yeah.
their path, they became their path.
This has been a lovely conversation, very enlightening for myself as well. You've helped me kind of
fun.
tie up a lot of things I was pondering today, and even with the intent behind what we're doing.
Lovely. No, I've really enjoyed it. You know that.
I feel it, man. It's class. Yeah.
If I was you, I'd certainly go out and get laid tonight. It's been too long. Put the painting back up.
Yeah. Put it up. Okay, all right. So I might use my hand instead. Less hassle.
There we are. Yeah.
And I don't have to fear. Sure, you know yourself.
No, I don't.
I was going to say to you when your show is ready to go, we'll come back and we'll talk about the show.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be great fun.
That'd be class. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just all it is. It was a real priority of mine, and I for some reason I've blocked myself. It's the show. The show is the most important thing, and then after that, and when I say the show, I don't mean in terms of the performance of it. It's the essence, the truth, because the show is me. I am the show, and I'm just a couple of millimeters away. If not now, then when? Yeah.
Sweet.
It's
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for your wisdom and for the kindness. And
there we are. Blah blah blah. There you go. Yeah. There we are. In all seriousness.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Just thank you, so.
Your Honour. Your Honour. To you and all.
Well, that's my ego. It's a polite ego, you know.
Of course. No, that wasn't a... No, I was imagining a different Your Honour. You're free to go.
Thank you.